It's obvious these photos are not from the Odisha train tragedy, but it does take us back to another Black Friday. Just like hundreds of families and their lives have changed forever after what happened on the 2nd of June when the Coromandel Express was involved in one of India's worst train tragedies, another derailed train broke families more than a decade ago, and they still haven't been able to move on. On the story that caught my eye, we're highlighting the unspeakable struggle of such families that more than 13 years on still don't have the death certificate for a loved one who died in that train tragedy. When the Gyaneshwari Express train travelling from Howrah to Kurla derailed on the 28th of May in 2010, Poulomi Atha was only 5 years old. Her father Prosenjit said goodbye to her with the promise of returning with goodies. He was one of 148 people who died when the train derailed in Bengal's Jhargram. But in official records, he's still missing, even though it's been 13 years since the train tragedy. The norm is that after 7 years, if a person continues to be missing, he or she can be presumed to be dead, unless there's proof to the contrary. Now at least 3 other families besides Poulomi's are still struggling for such death certificates. Her mother died running from pillar to post. She's now taken up the task her mother left behind. Forget getting closure when they can't even afford to give a dignified farewell to their loved ones. With no death certificate, families like these cannot even apply for benefits that are often announced after such tragedies, like a government job for a family member or being able to file a complaint in the rail tribunal for claims. And all of these families have given blood samples at least 2 to 3 times for DNA matching. So what's the hold-up? And should this be this Herculean a task to get a distressed family a death certificate? The lawyer of 4 Gyaneshwari victims' families said, and I quote, "All the state needs to do is call for reports from their local police stations and the place where they were last seen. A notice in a newspaper completes the process. Yet, even as we stare at another deadly railway accident, none of the ministers or bureaucrats step up for these victims." Unquote. Poulomi told my colleague TOI's Baipa Ghosh that she tried to meet the Bengal Chief Minister, district officials, railway officials on multiple occasions without any success, and finally went to court. "We had lost our only earning member and had to hit the streets," she said. Railway officials say the death certificate is issued by the state, not the railways. But how long must a family wait to get closure? Isn't more than a decade enough? As India tries to find answers to what took place in the moments before the Coromandel Express rear-ended a freight train in Odisha, no family should have to suffer on a daily basis for a decade to get something as basic as a loved one's death certificate.